Good morning, everyone, and welcome to the show. John Henry Soto here with you as always. It is March 23rd, 2026, 7 a.m. Central here in Nashville, Tennessee. This is a live morning space for artists, filmmakers, musicians, and creators who are navigating the real world of making art. On this show, we talk about positivity, but not the fluffy, weak, yucky kind. We talk about what actually stops artists from moving forward, the struggles we all face, and how to move through them with clarity and purpose. We'll also highlight good things happening in the industry, share ideas, suggestions, and practical advice, and most importantly, have honest conversations. This is a live show, so if you're here, feel free to ask questions or join in. This is a place to reset, get grounded, and start the day moving forward as an artist. And hello, everyone. Welcome in. Hope you're all doing well out there. Hope you had a really, really fantastic weekend. What a beautiful weekend we had here in Nashville, Tennessee, after getting hit with some strange weather for the last couple of months. But we've been really, really fortunate. The last 3 to 4 days have been beautiful. Yesterday was just incredible. Gorgeous, gorgeous night. It was my anniversary yesterday. 23 years married to the same woman. How she puts up with my insanity is beyond me. But she's a good person, and she's given me a she made me a father, two wonderful children that we have here, and she's just a good girl. So this is what we're going to talk about today, and this is what inspired me was the fact that when you're married and you have people in your life, and uh, you're kind of going along, you start realizing, well, what is it about marriages that don't work, and what is it about why do some artists get married and then suddenly they just struggle, they struggle to even just keep the relationship going, well, we're going to talk a little bit about that today, and I wanted to kind of like see if y'all have any opinions on that. Let me know. I'm here. I'm, as they say, I'm all ears. And I want to hear what you have to say as well. So let me know in the comments, in the comment section below, what your thoughts are on marriage. Let me know how long you've been married and where you're from, and give me your stories, because I love to hear stories of how people got together and all that. And it's always fascinating to me, the different ways and stuff. And it's just, and everyone is different. Every single relationship is different in how it developed, especially those that have been married a long time. Your stories are different because there's always challenges. You're not going to tell me that you've been married a long time and haven't had any issues. Like my wife and I have been married 23 years yesterday, and we've been through some challenges, mostly caused by me. But we both have said, she said it publicly, that we both handle our crazy well. We both handle each other's crazy well, and I think that that's a big part of it. There's one decision in your life that quietly shapes everything else. Can you guess what that is? It shapes your energy, your focus, your confidence, and ultimately your future. It's not the job you take, it's not the city you live in, or the dreams you choose to chase, but it's the person you choose to stand next to while you're chasing them. The right presence beside you doesn't just support your vision, it multiplies it. This is something that's so important to really understand in a relationship, right? Now, married 23 years, I feel that I have a little bit of authority in speaking about this subject, and also having challenges in marriage and being, having these kinds of things that we overcame. I feel that I have some understanding on it. But here's the thing that you have to really just look at and for yourself. If you have a goal, and if your partner, your husband, your wife, if they're not multiplying it, if they're not pushing you towards it, if they're the barrier that you always have to try to figure out how to get around to get to the thing that you want to do, I'm going to tell you very, very honestly, and it's going to be a little bit, uh, gosh, I mean, I don't want to be mean, but it's harsh, but it doesn't matter the goals that you're chasing. You will not succeed if the person that's closest to you, the person that you spend the most time with, is the barrier to your goals. It almost seems, of course. Now you can do, and I've talked about this in the past, you have two options. You can handle it or you can disconnect from it, right? There's no middle. You can't half handle a problem. You have to handle it all the way, right? It's like you can't be half pregnant. It's either all or none. And then once you start trying to handle it, if you realize that you can't handle it, disconnection is the only other option. And how difficult is that to even say? Because we've talked about this with friendships, right? We've talked about auditing your circle. We've talked about having serious conversations with friends and with family members on your goal and stuff. But if it's your spouse, your wife, your husband, your partner, then you're stuck. I mean, you are literally stuck, and it doesn't matter how wonderful you are and how talented you are. If you have this barrier that's there that's constantly trying to prevent you from moving forward, you will not move forward. And if you do move forward, it's going to be at a snail pace, a snail's pace. And if you think about the relationship that you have with that partner's family, if they're all involved in your life and this person is preventing you from moving forward, and you have a whole family that you got to deal with, you're going to have a long time of not moving forward and not doing anything. And it is tragic. And the thing is, I've seen it firsthand. I've been married 23 years, so I know people that have been married for years. I know people who have gotten divorced, and I know people who have gotten into new marriage. I know people that during our marriage met, got married, and got divorced within those 23 years. So I've seen it. I've seen it happen. And of course, you always get one side of the story, so you don't really know the full picture. But what I'm talking to you is something that only you can know. It's a very personal thing, right? It's only what you can understand, what you can duplicate, the life that you're living. You're the only one that really understands it. And you're the only one that talks honestly to yourself and says, hey, this is something that I need to confront right now because I'm not going to make it. Only you can say something like that. So when you're in a relationship that is preventing you from moving forward, that's when you have to say it. You got to find someone that the relationship that it brings clarity when things get confusing, strength when things get heavy, and belief when you start to doubt yourself. When that piece is in place, everything feels aligned. You move differently. You take bigger swings because you know you're not alone in the outcome. You can take bigger risks, right? Because you know that the outcome, you'll have someone there to catch you, emotionally. And in my case, physically, because I'm small. um, there's a sense of stability that allows you to be creative, to be bold, to grow without constantly looking over your shoulder. But when that foundation is off, it doesn't just slow you down, it can quietly drain you. Your energy shifts from building your future to managing what's pulling you away from it. And over time, that can cost you more than you realize. See, this is the thing also. It can be gradual. You may not even sense it, you may not even feel it happening, but it is consistently moving you down and pushing you down. And you don't realize over time what's at stake and what you're losing, and that's tragic because next thing you know, you turn around and you've been married for decades and you haven't taken one step towards your goal because you didn't realize that you were slowly being shifted. I saw a clip someone there of a woman that said that She has a husband that's has no hobbies, that her only thing that he's interested in is family, spending time with her and working. And she says men who have hobbies are gross. And I thought, what a stupid thing to say. That's your situation. You married, it could be also that you married in the video that we're talking about this, the young lady who did the video, it said it could be the fact that you just married a really boring person, and you're boring, right? And that worked. And now you have a man who does nothing but just what, your family stuff, has no hobbies, no curriculums, probably not a lot of friends either. Maybe acquaintances or maybe church people or something. But um, the judgment on that is not really what I'm talking about, right? Like I'm not judging families, couples. I'm talking to individuals here, right? I'm talking to you as a spiritual being, you as an individual that's in a relationship, for you to actually assess it. What are your goals? Is this partner moving you forward towards your goals, or are those goals gone and you haven't even confronted them in years? So you don't even know if you can actually make it. See, abuse can go both ways. I'm talking about verbal, psychological, mental abuse, right? Can go both ways. So you can have a man who had a purpose, had a goal, and have a wife who slowly is wants to move him towards something a little bit more. Maybe his goals are grander and maybe he's thinking really big. I'm doing something massive and he's got a lot of ambition. And she's like, well, I just want a house. I want a picket fence. I want you to come home at 5:45. I'll have dinner ready. We'll have our dinner. We'll sit in front of the TV and we'll grow old together that way. And for some people, I got to tell you, it's a wonderful thing. They love it. But if you have an ambition, if you have ambition and if you have goals and you get married and now you're being pushed into this type of lifestyle and you're fighting against it constantly, how much mental energy do you think you're going to have focused on your goals as opposed to trying to handle this person to try to let you do your goal? It is not easy. You have to have a partner that understands what you're doing. And if they don't understand what you're doing, you might have to move away, you know? Now, I'm not a licensed therapist, thank God, because they don't know anything. But I am an experienced husband. I'm an experienced father, definitely an experienced friend. And when I talk to people, I talk because I want them to do well in life. I want them to find those goals. I want them to go to bed at night knowing that they had a really productive day towards the thing that they love to do. And when they wake up in the morning, they know they're going to do it again and not be stopped. That to me is a joy when I meet somebody and they have that already. I meet them, I gravitate towards them, because that's the kind of energy that I want around me. I don't want negative people around me. I don't want people that just have problems with everything around them and it's everyone's fault but their own. I'm not interested in that. I'll listen and acknowledge and have conversations with people like that. But to be constantly around that, it's just draining. Or you can communicate to them and be like, hey, man, just handle that shit, bro. What are you doing, bro? Handle that shit. I mean, you have to figure out for yourself, what is it that you're trying to accomplish here? I mean, and it really does drain not only yourself, but everyone around you. If you're in a relationship that's toxic and it's preventing you from moving forward, and then you go and you spread that on someone else, well, why are you doing that? You think that's helping anyone? It's not helping anyone. It's definitely not helping you, and it's definitely not helping the person that you're, directing that towards, right? So this is the thing that this is going to be a shorter episode because I have a doctor's appointment this morning. But I hope you're all doing well out there, and I hope this is valuable to you. This one decision in your life can make or break you. Period. Period. You have to marry someone that gets it. And I'm not sitting here saying that I did fully marry someone at the beginning that got it, because I didn't get what she wanted. She didn't get what I wanted. All we knew is that we had a good chemistry. We liked each other. We felt like we've been together for a very long time, even after we just met. So there was something there that we didn't understand, but it was a real thing. And then the challenges came in, and then the barriers came in based on uh middle class values that I was never really into, because I was very lower class and didn't really understand that middle class mentality of getting a job and getting a house and raising the children and having sending them to school and college. And that wasn't never anything. I didn't have those values. I have some of those values now. I don't value school the way a lot of people value school, so that was a big thing. My wife's a teacher. I mean, if I didn't value school, but I worked while she went to and got her master's, and she got her job in education. She's been a teacher for, I don't know, over 15 years, maybe 17 years now, and she loves it. But I dropped out of high school, and then later on I went to get my equivalency, and then I did a little bit of college, and it was not for me. One class was the only thing I liked, was a writing class. I enjoyed writing, and I still do that till this day. That's the only thing I really enjoyed in college. So I didn't get any value from it. It didn't change anything on my income either. I was managing huge health clubs and managing people with college degrees. It didn't do anything. So that was a big challenge for us, because her family is all about education, or at least they value it a lot more. And I value nutrition. I value spiritual strength. I value communication. I value art, music, film, helping others. These are the things that I value. These are the things that I poured myself into in the last 30 plus years of my life, that I've been out of the Bronx, basically out of the South Bronx where I was living. This is the kind of stuff that I really relish on, and I love it. So that is the one thing that you have to protect, the one thing you have to take your time with. It's the one thing you refuse to compromise on. And sometimes, it's an energy thing, right? You meet someone and that energy just fits, and you guys flow. And I meet people like that even till this day. I meet, women and men where you just feel very good around. Obviously women more romantically, and there's an energy there. It's just a positive energy. You have that with everyone. You meet somebody that you're just like, man, this person is awesome. This woman is amazing. She's beautiful. She's funny. She's smart. She's fantastic. There's an energy there, right? So you have to find that thing that really excites you when you meet someone and you're considering a relationship with this individual, right? But once the relationship starts, give yourself time to write down what your goals are and show them to each other. Show each other your goals and be like, this is what I want with my life. This is what I want with my career. This is what I want family wise. This is where I want to live. Oh my gosh, where do you want to live? Some people are, when I was in New York, people were in New York temporarily. They didn't want to be in New York forever. That was a major thing for me and my wife, because I'm a New Yorker, you know what I mean? I'm like, I ain't leaving New York. Where am I gonna go? But I grew as a person, not physically, but definitely mentally and spiritually. I I thought what was the greatest good for my family and for people around me and for different urges that I have towards survival. And I decided, you know what, we can move. It was a greater good to move. And we did. We moved to New Jersey. I lived there for 9 years. And then after I had to look at the situation again where we were after the pandemic or during the pandemic. Well, we got to get out of here because things were not well over there. The economy it was just not a normal place to be in. Although people who are in it think it's perfectly fine because they're um, they're just taken over. They're asleep, and they don't see anything. They just think everything is hunky dory. But then we moved to Nashville, and it was like completely opposite. So much freedom, so much opportunity. Everything was incredible. But I had to be able to look at that and be able to find that within myself that I can move to Nashville, a state, Tennessee. I've never been to Tennessee. I've never been to Nashville. I've never I just I think I don't think I've even drove through it, you know. So it was very, very new to me. But the decision was with the greater good. So yeah, you have to be able to find those compromises in yourself, not give up your goals, but see things clearly for what they are and be able to make decisions based on the betterment of your family and those around you and yourself and your goals, right? And that's what I did. And that's what we did. So as we progressed and gotten better and have done more studies from our religion and from our friends and learning from people that we see and we're inspired by things we read and episodes that we've done. As we continue, we get stronger and we're able to more and more see each other's point of view and see each other's goals and be able to understand the importance of having that person next to you that's going to help you move towards your goal at any cost, you know, and they're going to speak good for you. They're going to speak right about you when you're not in the room. So if somebody says, "Hey, man, what happened with John? I thought he was going to do the," oh, no, he's doing it. He's been working really hard on it, as a matter of fact. And, you know, I don't always talk about all the things that I'm working on right now, but you see, I'm working on some stuff and it's really exciting, and she's a wonderful teacher. So whenever I talk about her all the time, I tell her, "Oh, no, my wife's a teacher. She's been a teacher for many years. She's a wonderful mom. She's awesome. She's very tall. She's a lot taller than me. I'm very, I'm happy about that. I like that, and it's just an exciting thing to talk about her. You know, and that's having each other's back. You know, I hear so many times, oh yeah, my husband is, oh my wife, yeah, she doesn't listen. She doesn't get it. She's in a world of her own. I just kind of let her do it. And I'm always like, does she know you're saying these things? And it may seem like a joke or something. Maybe, and sometimes husband and wife they joke around with each other. My wife and I we do that. That's different. We're both in the room. But when you're saying it like, oh well, my wife is not. When you're saying it like that, it kind of feels dirty, and it kind of feels like, well, maybe you shouldn't be together if things are that not so good, right? So, uh, make sure what's beside you is aligned with where you're going, because the right presence will elevate everything you do, and the wrong one will make even the strongest person feel stuck. It's true. You can have all the answers, you can be the strongest person, but if you have someone in you that's making you walk up a mountain of molasses and you're constantly stuck, it doesn't matter how strong you are, it is going to be draining. You're going to be exhausted at the end of the day because you're trying to push on this goal and you don't have someone there willing to help you with that goal. All you have is someone throwing things at you and trying to knock you off your purpose. And that, my friends, is criminal. And no one deserves that. So you should audit your situation. As I said before, your friends, if you have that around you, you cut that out. You cut it out of your life and you'll see your life. And even if it's completely, it feels like it's so hard to do because it's someone that you've known for so long and it's a relative or it's a spouse or whatever it is, when you pull that band aid and when you just say, okay, I gotta do this and I gotta have this conversation and you have it, the relief that you're gonna feel is uncomparable to anything else that you're ever going to feel. The freedom that you're going to feel, the empowerment that you're going to feel, the acceleration on the possibilities of what you can accomplish now that you don't have these bumps in the road and these constant barriers that you have to try to break through or overcome or go under and over. It is just glorious. And I wish that for you, and I want that for all of you. And I want to thank you again for tuning in this morning. I appreciate you all so much. Again, this is always an affirmation for myself too, talking about all these wonderful things. Happy anniversary to my wife. Thank you very much for 23 years. Here's to the next 23 years. I love you. And to my beautiful kids, I love you too. And to all of you, thank you. I love you all as well. I appreciate the support that I get here. And I will see you all tomorrow morning at 7 a.m. Central. Take care of yourselves. God bless. Take care of each other. And as always, peace.